Hi, I am Professor Anil Pawar from Matosri College of Management and Research Center. Today we are discussing the topic policies of HRM, the universal statement that directs the flow of thoughts and action while making decisions are called policies. They are also called as a plan of action. HR policies are the group of organizational processes that look for establishing the maintaining employment relation. Now we see the definition of HRM. According to Bruest and Richbell, HR policies are a set of proposals and actions that act as a reference point for managers in their dealing with employees. Another definition of Dale Yodar, a policy is a predetermined and accepted course of thoughts and action that is defined and established as a guide toward accepted goals and objectives. Now we see the characteristics of HRM policies. First one is the link to objective. It is necessary that the policies objectives are linked to goals of the organization. Next one is understandable. It is important that the policies must be expressed in a language which is clear, affirmative and simple to understand. Precise. The policies must recommended parameters and standard for further course of action, and they should adequately cover every related element and accept. Next one is a flexible and stable. The HRM policy should be both flexible as well as stable. Fact-based. The opportunistic decisions or the personal feelings should not form the base of HRM policies, but the formation of HRM policies should be based on facts and rationally and through decisions. Suitable number. The HRM policy should be in a suitable number so that they do not become insignificant or create any confusion in the mind of employee, and also include all the projected situation. Impartial, just and equitable. The HRM policy should be equitable, just, impartial to the insider along with the outsider. Reasonable. It is necessary the HRM policy are reasonable and achievable. Last one is assessment. In order to event managerial stagnation or organizational compliancy and keep adjusting with the changing time, it is necessary that the organization conducts an assessment of HRM policies from time to time. Now we see the objective of HRM policy. HRM policies are formulated to achieve the various objectives like providing uniformity. Clearly communicated HR policies aim at providing uniformity in message and administrating the organizational policies. To help in supervision. In large organization, HR generalists or directors may not be present all the time to take care of every incident related to employee discipline or respond to every query related to leave policy or other such HR issues. A supervisor having a good understanding and easy access to the written organizational policies can effectively respond to the queries and grievances of the employee and handle small disciplinary issues without the involvement of human resource department. Next one is to provide information to employee. Using the manuals and handbooks of policy, the procedures available online as well as offline, employee can easily discover any information on their own. To assist in policy administration, in case of policy of work standard, tardiness and discrimination or any other employee issue is challenged, the HR policy manual would act as the guidelines to be followed for uniform and fair handling of issues. Now we see the factors affecting HRM policy. There are various factors which are affecting on HRM policy, which are national laws. The HRM policies should be in accordance with the national law, as a number of aspects of the personal affairs are determined by several laws of the nation. Social, customer and value. With the formation of HRM policy, social, customer and value should be considered as they are the of conduct of any society. Management philosophy and values. The HRM policy should be according to the value and philosophy of the management of the organization, because in the absence of explicit comprehensive values and philosophy, management does not work for any time duration on the affairs related to employee of the organization. Next one is development phase. The adoption of HRM policies is affected by the number of factors like innovation, change in financial structure, and variation in the composition of labor force, operation size, and authority decentralization. Organizational financial position. The formulation of HRM policy requires money, which will ultimately affect the product price. Thus, the HRM policy are restricted by the price of the product of the organization. Goals and practices of trade union. The various factors related to the employee union also affect the HRM policies, like the techniques of the union to pressure management to fulfill their demands, their capacity to bargain, the manner or the degree of employee organization. And last one is the kind of workforce, the assessment features of the labor force, and what all things they accept is the responsibility of a good HR staff. It is almost no value to execute and suitable policies. Now we see the types of HRM policies. That first one is a originated policy. These policies are instituted by the top management of the organization internationally in order to supervise the executive thinking at different levels. Next type is appeal policy. These policies are framed with the purpose to meet the necessities of specific unusual circumstances that have not been considered by the previously formed policy. Next one is the imposed policy. These policies are established due to pressure from the outside agencies like unions, government, and trade associations. Next type is general policy. These policies show the fundamental premises and philosophy of the upper level management in drawing up the comprehensive plan for determining the growth chart of the organization. Next type is a specific policy. These policies should be consist with the fundamental outline provided by the general policies. Issues which are covered by these policies are bargaining, hiring, and rewarding. Next type is implied policy. These policies which are not framed by the competent authority and have no official sanction are known as implied policy. These are concluded from the conduct of the member, like talking politely with the customer or dress code. Next type is written policy. These policies are clearly expressed formal statement of intention of management. The through of management are written on paper in form of written policy, so that are very less chance of understanding in the wrong way. Now we see the formation of HRM policy. There are many steps in formation of HRM policy, that is recognition the needs, collecting information, analyzing policy alternatives, putting the policy in writing, getting approval, policy communication, and policy evaluation. Now we see one by one. First one is the recognition the needs. The requirement of HRM policy should be felt by the HRM manager. If the organization does not have a suitable HRM policy, the chief executive of the organization should be pre-sought by the HR manager, and the requirement of the same is put by the HR manager. Next one is the collecting information. The second stage is the gather information, important information, facts for the formulation of HRM policy as soon as the management has accepted the requirement for the policy. Next step is the analyzing the policy alternative. It is the gathered information which form the basis for the analysis of the alternatives with respect to their contribution towards the goals of the organization. Next step is the putting the policy in writing. The real job expressing the HR policy in writing can be started by the personnel department after the collection of essential facts and analyzing the of objectives has been completed. Next step is the getting approval. In order to get the policy approved, the policy's draft is sent to the upper level of management by the HR department. The ultimate authority of the decisions whether or not the policy adequately denotes the goals of the organization rests with the upper level of management. Next step is policy communication. Each and every employee of the organization should be communicated about the policy after its approval by the upper level management. And last step is policy evaluation. Timely assessment of policy should be conducted with regards to the experience of the employee who are implemented by it and who